Okay guys, I've got two quick disclaimers. I'm going to keep this video super short. First is, I know some of you are going to see this and say, Mike, why are you giving me this information? I don't need to know it, just do your job. So some owners are not concerned about kind of the inner workings, but I have had several questions from a few owners over the last month or two concerning the Expedia network, kind of how it works. So I'm going to put together this really short video giving them the information that they've asked for. Maybe it'll be to the interest of a few more people. As many of you know, the Expedia network is a large part of our operations. Probably about 30% of our bookings come through the Expedia network, which is actually around 20 different websites. So I'm going to talk about the distribution network of VRBO/Expedia. We're going to talk about the effects that instant bookings have on this distribution, and I'm going to mention just the costs of the network a little bit, just because I do get questions. You know, I've always put it in a nutshell. Where we get the booking does affect, you know, our bottom line. So I'll mention that real quick too. So my other disclaimer is my allergies have really picked up today, so hopefully that won't affect things too much. So let's talk about the expanded distribution network. So there are some websites that you are always listed on, you know, with Expedia because it's part of the network they own. And then there's about 15 to 20 websites they're contracted on with 1 to 5 year contracts. And I'll talk about that a bit. So their current websites are Travelocity, Cheap Tickets, Orbitz, Expedia, of course, you know, Trivago, and of course, you know, VRBO, Kayak. And then there's about 15 to 20 affiliate websites, which again, they don't legally own, but we're contracted on. For example, I use bringfido.com, you know, as a website where our folks at Allow Pets are on bringfido.com. There's actually, I'm told, around 20 websites at any given time. Those websites do alter based off the current contracts that they have, but those are the main ones that are permanent, is what I'm mentioning here. So let's talk about the effect on refusing instant bookings on the distribution on Vrbo. It's somewhat profound, and I want to make sure you understand I am not trying to encourage, you know, not trying to strong arm or even encourage somebody to accept instant bookings that doesn't want to do that. I'll always leave that up to the owner. But I do think some of this puts it into perspective and allows people to make the best decisions about their particular property. Right now, I think I have 3 owners that are on that don't accept instant bookings, and it does affect things. I always say, though, if we're filled up, we're filled up, right? But if we don't fill up because of our lowered exposure, then we're forced to lower down prices if we want to get the same occupancy. So the big thing is, if you're not accepting instant bookings, your listing will only appear on VRBO. So the other 15 to 20 websites, they won't put you on. That's the big thing. Now, VRBO is huge. I don't have the numbers for sure in front of me, and certainly no recent numbers, but I think it probably cuts down on your exposure from the Expedia network by about 75% if you're just on VRBO. The other thing is, if they, even on VRBO, if they have the instant confirmation feature on, they just simply won't see your property. And I'm told that it does affect SEO, at least on Airbnb, where your property is placed. So I do want to mention it. Again, up to each owner, I will always respect that. I also mentioned that the Expedia network is the most expensive network we use. It is not the most expensive network out there. Booking.com charges 15% on the owner side, which is, you know, 3 times what VRBO is. So there are more expensive networks out there. But with VRBO, we're doing all of our credit card processing, all the OT tax collection. It's a ton more work, and we're paying more on the owner side with VRBO. The cost of the network as compared to Airbnb is actually about the same overall, but Airbnb charges 15%, you know, from the guests. Vrbo charges less on the guest side, but more on the owner side, and it's probably close to about 7% higher on our side. For example, on a $4,000 booking, if it's a VRBO booking compared to an Airbnb booking, they'd be about a $280 difference. So some owners have asked me kind of how that works, and you know, with the network we're on, and including you know, Google Vacations and Hopper and with everything, you know, direct bookings and everything, it can be a little bit confusing. But the important thing to say is, depending on where the booking comes from, you know, we can save you some money. So thank you for watching this video. I know this is information overkill to probably most of our owners, but I know that others will appreciate the perspective and the information. Let me know. I'm going to try and be doing these informational videos fairly regularly because as we grow, there's people that want to have the perspective and want the information, and so I've got no problem doing this. Reach out if you want me to throw another one together on another subject, and I greatly appreciate your time. Take care.